Welcome back, everybody. EGM here. In this episode, we're going to talk about how I put up this cabinet.
Started by removing all the shelves on the cabinet and removing the bolts that were holding the cabinet into the supports in the wall. He had a few just screws going right into the studs, nothing fancy. I really didn't like where this was here. I also had to remove the pegboard in which I planned on putting the cabinet. At this point, I decided to actually measure to see if these cabinets would fit because the idea came first. Didn't really measure it. Started measuring out the cabinets and quickly realized that I was going to have to use the two outer sides to fit it in. So I measured where the supports were at so that I can put the cabinets and bolt those down to these supports. I quickly saw that 2x2 in the middle wasn't going to work. So I was going to swap over the 2x4 support and the 2x2 support so that the cabinets could be screwed onto the wooden supports. Previous owner had cabinets together by some screws on the side, just going from side to side, so I had to remove those in order to separate them. Then I grabbed one of the outer cabinets, lined it up, and got some screws and just drove it right into the bottom support to get it holding on to the support. Then just put a few more screws in through the sides to make sure that it stayed and had enough screws holding it on. Then I grabbed the second one, tucked it right in, fit perfectly. Put a bunch of screws right where the supports were. Made sure I got to the top also. And then, of course, I got some screws to screw the cabinets together through the same holes that were there in the past. So then I got that little 2x2 support and put it back at the end here in the same position that the old 4x2 was at, and just bolted that in so that I could install the pegboard right back on there and make it look like it was seamless. Measured it out just to make sure that I cut it correctly. Didn't have my circular saw at this point, so I used a hand saw and just followed a line and cut right through. Got it on there, matched perfectly. So I got some regular wood screws and just found a few holes and drove them in. I think it came out pretty good. It looks like it belongs there. I did want to cut a little piece here and fill this in, even though I probably wouldn't be hanging anything from that point, but just to make it look seamless. And this little piece here would probably match perfectly. So I grabbed my handsaw and I drew a nice little even line and went away. So I grabbed that piece and just jammed it in there. It was a little tricky to get it in. Tried sliding and hammering, did a few things, but once I finally got it in,
I just put a few screws in to hold it in place. And that's all I really have for you guys today. Wasn't a huge project. Probably did more work than I had to be done, but I'm not a expert in woods work, and I've really never done much of this stuff before. So I'm figuring it out as I go along. I think it's going to be very useful for me. It's going to hold a lot of stuff for me, and I'm pretty happy with the way it came out, honestly. I even made it seem like it was supposed to be there the entire time, which, is pretty cool. please stay tuned. The next episode will be about the shipping center that I'm creating in one of the corners of the shop so that I can fulfill orders efficiently. So please do all the things: subscribe, share, like, comment below, questions, concerns, calling me an idiot. I'm good with all of it. Hit me up down below. See you guys soon. See you next episode. Bye.